Roman Gribbs was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1925. He was the son of Polish immigrants. Gribbs served in the U.S. Army during World War II. After the war, he attended the University of Detroit. He earned a bachelor's degree in economics and accounting in 1952. He then earned a law degree from the same university in 1954. Gribbs began his career in the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. He worked there for 9 years. In 1966, he became a traffic court referee. 2 years later, he was elected Wayne County Sheriff. Gribbs served as sheriff until 1969. He then decided to run for mayor of Detroit. Detroit faced many challenges in the late 1960s. The city was struggling with racial tensions, a declining economy, and high crime rates. Gribbs campaigned on a platform of law and order. He promised to restore fiscal responsibility to city government. He narrowly defeated African-American candidate Richard H. Austin in the 1969 mayoral election. Gribbs took office as mayor in 1970. He was the last white mayor of Detroit until Mayor Mike Dogan. Gribbs inherited a city in crisis. He faced a $20 million budget deficit. The city's population was declining. Businesses were leaving Detroit for the suburbs. As mayor, Gribbs took steps to address Detroit's financial problems. He laid off 500 city employees. He also cut spending in other areas. These measures were unpopular, but they helped to balance the city's budget. Gribbs left office in 1974 with a $15 million budget surplus. Gribbs also tried to address Detroit's crime problem. He created a new anti-crime unit called STRESS, or Stop the Robberies, Enjoy Safe Streets. STRESS was a controversial program. It was criticized for its aggressive tactics. Some people believe that STRESS unfairly targeted African Americans. Despite the controversy, Gribbs defended STRESS. He argued that the program was necessary to reduce crime in Detroit. However, STRESS was disbanded in 1974 after the deaths of several African American citizens. In addition to his work on crime and the city's finances, Gribbs also oversaw the early stages of the Renaissance Center development. This massive project was intended to revitalize Detroit's downtown area. The Renaissance Center was completed in 1977. It became a symbol of the city's economic recovery. The STRESS program was one of the most controversial aspects of Gribbs's mayoralty. STRESS was a plainclothes police unit that was tasked with reducing crime in Detroit. The unit was created in 1971, at a time when the city was experiencing a surge in violent crime. STRESS officers were known for their aggressive tactics, which included stop-and-frisk searches and the use of deadly force. The STRESS program was effective in reducing crime in Detroit. However, it also led to a number of civilian deaths, most of whom were African American. Between 1971 and 1974, STRESS officers killed 18 people. The unit was also accused of racial profiling and excessive force. The STRESS program caused a great deal of tension between the Detroit Police Department and the city's African American community. Many African Americans felt that they were being unfairly targeted by STRESS officers. The program was eventually disbanded in 1974 after a series of protests and lawsuits. Gribbs's handling of the STRESS program and other issues related to race and policing drew criticism from some quarters. His supporters, however, point to his efforts to appoint African Americans to key positions in city government. Gribbs appointed more African Americans to his administration than any previous mayor of Detroit. These appointments included Walter Green as deputy mayor, Ed Davis as head of the Detroit Department of Street Railways, Clarence Russell as director of Public Works, and Denise Lewis as director of Community Relations. Gribbs chose not to seek re-election in 1973. After leaving office, he returned to practicing law. He served as a Wayne County Circuit Court judge from 1975 to 1982. He was then appointed to the Michigan Court of Appeals, where he served from 1982 to 2000. Gribbs died on April 5, 2016, at the age of 90. He is remembered as a complex and controversial figure. He was a fiscal conservative who helped to stabilize Detroit's finances. However, his mayoralty was also marked by racial tensions and the controversy over the STRESS program. Roman Gribbs's legacy is a mixed one. He is credited with restoring fiscal responsibility to Detroit city government. He also oversaw the early stages of the Renaissance Center development. However, his mayoralty was also marked by the controversial STRESS program and by racial tension. Gribbs was a product of his time, and his legacy continues to be debated today.